who wants to earn a bonus? Everybody? I see you. All right. So we are going to talk tonight about how to do that. We want to bring you guys some of our tips from conference and just talk about how exactly to go from point A to point B. So I'm super excited about this. Sorry, it's really dark. None of this is going as planned. And one of the things that I wanted to share with you, probably the thing that reached out and punched me in the face at conference, was the following statement. And I'm probably going to mess it up, so just bear with me. But Mark said, I don't understand why people have 40 hours a week to spend building someone else's dream, and they can't find a few hours a week to build their own. And that was woo, because we are always talking about being consistent with this business and working hard and all that good stuff. But I know, I remember when I started and I was working full time, I used that excuse a lot. I told myself that I was, so busy and it was really hard and wham. But if you want to get one of these bonuses, that cannot even be on the table. So they gave us this cool little book in our conference pack, and I just want to point something out. Hopefully you can see it. Can you guys see that? It's a pad of paper. And on each piece of paper, there are goals that you're supposed to fill in. And then there are these little blank checklist things. See that? So what this tells me is that It Works thinks the same thing we've been teaching you guys and doing ourselves, and that is the extreme importance in getting these bonuses and being successful in setting goals and doing income producing activities. And see these little boxes? That means you check them off when you did them, not just meant to do them, you do them. And look how many pages there are. You do it every day. I love it. I'm obsessed with this. I didn't even open it when I was at conference, but when I got home, I was like, oh my gosh, this is freaking awesome. Okay, so that's your big picture game plan. We're going to talk specifics later though. But Lindsay, I know, wanted to speak a little bit to your mindset. This is what you're doing, and Lindsay's going to talk about how you're thinking.
Yeah, are you done talking? Because you were kind of cutting out.
Or maybe not. She's going to stare at me. I'm done.
Okay. Can all of you guys hear me okay? Can I get a couple head nods? Okay, cool. Sorry. You guys know how our technology doesn't want to cooperate. Okay, I don't know what Jen just said. Sorry. Okay, so yeah, like Jen said, I really wanted to kind of talk to you guys about your mindset, the mindset you're going in to these next few months, because all of you guys raised your hand that you want to earn a bonus. Therefore, that means your mindset needs to be in promotion mode. And when you're in promotion mode, I don't know if any of you, I know some of you have, but maybe there's a few of you on here who haven't gotten your first promotion yet. And that's okay. But that's why I wanted to share with you guys what promotion mindset is, especially to me. And this is what I try to do, especially whenever I am promoting. But it's definitely something that we should all be doing every single month, not just the months when we are working our butts off for a promotion. So one of the things that I do when I am working for that promotion is I'm making no excuses, none. So if you are someone on here who is working for your promotion or working for your bonus, you need to throw all the excuses out the window. That means I couldn't get on the Zoom because my internet wasn't working, or my kids were acting crazy, or I don't know, I just didn't really feel like it. I didn't feel very good. Those kinds of things, you guys, I get it. It's terrible. It's awful. When your kids are acting nuts, but guess what? You can still play this and listen. You know, even, you know, we're all most of us are moms here. I get it if your kid's like jumping across the screen, throwing stuff, if you're like muted, I can see you like this, like I get it. But you still can have it on and you can still be listening, even if you're standing, you know, 5 feet away. And using the excuse, you know, I just didn't feel like getting on tonight, or I fell asleep. I know that, you know, we are tired. You know, some of you guys work, you work long shifts, you get up early for work. But we try to do these Zooms early enough for everybody. You know, I know on the East Coast, you guys kind of have the short end of that stick just because you're an hour behind like us in Central Time. But we try to make it where it's not going to be super late for you guys, but it's not going to be so early for the West Coasters who are 2 hours behind me. You know what I mean? Because these guys, you know, some of them, they're just getting off of work and getting home with their kids, you know, and they're trying to make dinner and everything like that. So we got to try to work it in for everybody. But we don't do Zooms every single night, you guys. And that's one of the things, you know, when you say, oh, I just got to get to bed, it's one night. And we try to keep them as short as possible. I know sometimes we get pretty chatty, but it's one night. So if you just tell yourself, okay, there's one night this week that I'm going to have to stay up 30 minutes longer. You know, that's something, you know, that's one of the things I'm talking about, like no excuses. Because trust me, I want to go to bed. I wish I could have been laying in bed at 8 o'clock tonight. Like my kids are all in bed. Like I've got my stuff all done. I've got showered. I would love to go to bed now. But you know what? I'm not making excuses. I know that there's a Zoom that everybody was waiting for me to get on, you know, and there's Zooms I want to listen to. So those are the kinds of things, you guys. You can't make excuses. You got to show up. You've got to listen to the calls, you know, and just saying like, well, is it going to be recorded because, you know, my favorite show is going to be on, or I'm going to go, you know, trim the lawn. I don't know. Like, just make time. You can play it. Like, I listen to the Zoom sometimes. I'll turn off my video and I'll be in the shower just listening. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes that's the only time I have. Jen, I see you smiling, and like I said, I turned my video off. So no one's getting, or like when I listen to calls, I listen to them in the shower. Like, it sounds like a silly thing to do, but literally, like, that's the only time sometimes that I have. I'll, like, when I'm straightening my hair, I'll watch a Zoom recording. I'll watch a live video recording. Like, while I'm straightening my hair, while I'm putting my makeup on, while I'm brushing my teeth. Just those things. So that's one of the things, you can't make excuses about showing up. You've got to, like, be messaging like a crazy person. I know we say this all the time, but if you haven't been at the point where you're like working for a promotion and literally all you need is volume, like you have all the distributors you need for that promotion, you're just getting volume, you're like messaging people like a crazy person. People that you haven't talked to for 6 years that have told you they wanted to order but never did, you're going all the way back to those people and saying like, hey, I know you had mentioned you wanted to use a stretch mark cream. I've got a spot open. Like, are you ready to start, you know, order? You know what I mean? Like, you're just picking it up like you guys talked last week. Those are the kinds of things, you know, that I'm doing, you know, especially when I'm in like this promotion mode. I'm like, you know, working like a crazy person. Times where I could make excuses and be like, well, I don't want to message them. I'm scared. Or, you know, I'm getting out of my comfort zone and I'm messaging people I was afraid to message in the first place. Like, just doing it. Like, this is the time now where you have to take your fears and throw them out the window. You have to take all those excuses that could be holding you back and throw them out the window, because this is like literally make or break it. Like, this is the time of the year, you know, that we've all been waiting for. Like, we've all been talking to you guys about for probably the last 6 months. Like, we're here. Jen, do you want to add something?
I was just going to say, like, all the different panels, and Lindsay posted an awesome post in Freedom Wrappers with like the videos from all the panels, but everything that they talked about there, they talked about all, you know, different tips on how to build your business in all different ways. But there was one common theme that kept coming up. So I want to share that, because you do have to be like doing this like you're on fire right now, like with crazy excitement. So whether it's Facebook or Instagram or parties or expos or whatever, or all of the above, that's great. This is the time to like rev up those numbers and really like don't hold anything back. Talk to everyone that you can. Follow up with everyone that you can. Ask as many people as you can to have parties. And if you find that post, we'll bump it up to the top. but find that post so that you can watch the different like ways of building your business that pique your interest. But yeah, like this, you should appear to literally be on fire right now. Like you're so freaking excited right now that you're actually like have smoke coming out of your head. Yeah. Well, you made me get a visual of you being on Zooms in the shower. So
you're welcome for
now
that.
you get to picture me on fire. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah, no, I like that. Cause yeah, like, I mean, I literally do feel like I'm on fire, you know, and there's times, you know, where like I said, I wanted to be in bed 8 o'clock and I'll tell myself, okay, I'm going to go to bed by 10 o'clock tonight. And I'm still up at midnight because I was messaging people and I had people messaging me back and I just like can't stop. You know, there's going to be nights where you're probably going to be awake a little later than you'd like to. And if that's not possible, if you say, no, I can't do that, I have to work, I have to get up at 5 a.m. tomorrow and I have to go to work. Okay, well, you know what? Then maybe you can stay up 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later and maybe you can wake up 15 minutes earlier. If that's something, you know, because some people, I get it, you're not really a night person, but maybe you're more of a morning person. Wake up a little earlier in the morning. Me personally, like I wish I could wake up at noon every single day. So that's like staying up late is okay for me. So you've got to really find though what works for you. And if you're someone who works a full-time job and you just think, oh, this is my whole day. I'm literally doing something every second. I come home and I've got to do this with my kids and then I've got to do this with dinner and then do this with my husband. You've really got to sit down and figure out how you can fit this into your schedule because you can. Like I was telling a couple girls today, they were just telling me, gosh, I just don't know how I can fit this in. I'm so busy. And I said, you know what? I was like, in the time it took you to just send me that message, you could have added 5 new Facebook friends. You could have put up a post because we were talking about posting and they're like, I just don't know when I have time to post. And I'm like, in the time that you just sent me that whole message, you could have put up a post. Like that's how simple these things are. So if you guys feel like you're really struggling to find that time.
So I did something today kind of on purpose. Back to this list. I think it's really easy if you're scrolling Facebook and you're not being productive with that time. I think it's really easy to fall into the trap of feeling like, gosh, I'm working so hard all day long and I still can't get it done. If you're not making a list and there aren't very specific things on it, then it's going to feel like that. You're going to feel like you have to put 6 hours a day into this when you don't. But today I did a little experiment and I don't have my actual list with me, but I have a list that I work off of every day. And on the list, there is adding a certain number of new contacts. There is spending a certain number of time commenting on people's stuff and relationship building. There's sending a certain number of messages, posting, obviously. I got my entire list, minus a couple of the posts, because obviously you can't do those all at one time. That would be crazy. But I got my entire list done in 1 hour. And that was all of my messaging. So later throughout the day, like when people responded, of your list during your lunch break, and then set your alarm for like 15 minutes early and for 15 minutes later. Boom. Like if you're really smart with your time and you're really working smart and not just scrolling, you will be amazed at what you can get done in 1 hour. Like when you're laser focused. And
I know that some of you guys might be sitting there and be like, gosh, like they talk about this dang list every single time. They talk about being like organized every single time. But you guys, that's because we're still hearing people saying the same things. Like we're still hearing people saying they don't have time. They don't know how to manage their time. They don't know how to work this. So that's why we keep bringing it up, because if you would just do it, you're going to find that, you know, it's going to work. Really quick, Nadia, I know I'll answer you because this is the 3rd time you've raised your hand. I keep ignoring it. Just get the hint. Just kidding. Go ahead, Nadia.
Okay, really quick. Sorry if you hear the kids in the background. Because I work full time, so I just wanted to put this 2 cents in. If you make those excuses for yourself, and it's really easy to fall into, even like us Double Diamond, I was making those excuses for myself, like getting home and saying, I'm so tired. Like, I want to spend time with the kids. I need to make dinner. I need to do this. And then before you know it, it's 10 o'clock at night and you're like, the last thing I want to do down and work my business. And then what that leads to, it leads to you getting frustrated with your business. It leads to a slowing in momentum. It leads to people on your team not working their business. It really just gradually is like a downward spiral. And if you just get out of your own way and start messaging, I guarantee you're going to get that momentum back, because even interacting with people about the opportunity, about the products, about anything, even if eventually it's kind of like a, maybe let me think about it, just knowing that there's people that are interested and getting someone to respond to you, that's going to spark that fire that you first had when you joined and people were messaging you without you having to, message them first. So if you can just get out of your own way, get those messages sent out, you want to beat somebody else to the punch, because if you're not sending the message, somebody else is. Somebody else is going to get to them, and then you're going to go like, oh, I didn't even know they were interested. Why didn't they ever message me? So if you can just seriously get out of your own way, do it. What I do when I get home, I spend an hour with my kids. Right now, they're getting ready for bed. I'm doing dishes and doing the Zoom. But when they're going to sleep, I literally sit in their room with them in the dark with my phone, and I get a lot of my messages out because I work full time. So, I mean, if you really want it, you will make a way to do it. And all I can say is, like, you're going to get that fire back slowly but surely if you just get the guts to do it. Just message people. That's it. Sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
I love that, because you're showing,
Yeah.
like, even as a Double Diamond, like, you're making those sacrifices. I mean, you're like Jen, like under your blankets, like doing messages, but you still are doing that. Like, some people want to reach that goal that you are already a Double Diamond, but you're still doing those things because you still want to move on. And I love that, because it even just shows that even at that rank, you're still doing things that might seem like a little crazy to some, but it's worth it, and it's going to like pay off. So really quick, like, of course we could talk about this stuff like all day and all night, but I wanted to kind of switch gears really quick and talk about a few things that I got from conference, like a few ideas that were mentioned that I really liked the best. And I know I think a few of others of the leaders wanted to maybe share a few of their things. But just a few of the things I liked the best, they talked about like retaining loyal customers. We always are talking about signing loyal customers. We need loyal customers, getting new loyal customers, but what about keeping the ones we have? Which of course they're always loyal customers, but having them order again, like maybe not consecutively, like, forever, but what if they stop ordering and then 3 months later they order again? You know what I mean? Because especially when you're going for promotions, it's awesome whenever you can get an existing loyal customer to order again, because that's going to help you too. So a few of the ideas that I really like that they mentioned was mailing a catalog to new loyal customers, especially because, they might have ordered the hair, skin, and nails, but they might not know all the other products that we have. So if you can get them a catalog in the mail, they'll go through that and they'll be like, oh, wow, there's tons of like products that I would love to use in here. And like, I know she had mentioned, she like even circles a couple of her favorites, maybe, or if they told you that they want to lose weight also their second month, maybe marking down a couple of the, your favorite weight loss products, things like that. And I mean, you can not even just new loyal customers now, but say you've been in the business for a while and, we have so many new products. Maybe you have someone that hasn't ordered in a long time. Shoot them the catalog and just be like, hey, we have some new products in here. I wanted to keep you updated on what we have to see if there's anything you were going to be interested in. You never know. They could be like, oh, I'd been meaning to contact you. I needed more greens or whatever. Give tips on the products they ordered. So don't just whenever someone, places an order and you say like, oh, thank you, it'll be on its way. Don't just like not talk to them again. Especially like I know the greens. Like I'll always give tips on, whatever flavored greens they got. Like what some of the things that people like to mix it with. I tell them, of course, it's going to be whatever you like, but here's some ideas to start with. Or, I give them tips and stuff for using the wraps, things like that. But make sure you're like following up with them. Hey, like, did you get your product yet? Awesome. Then a week later, hey, how's it going with your, hair, skin, and nails? How's it going with your cleanser? Because you might find that they're going to say, oh, like, well, I'm feeling like this. And just tell them, just keep using it. Nadia? Would you want to add something to that?
Yeah, and I actually just had a question. They mentioned, and I honestly don't remember the exact thing she said, but for those customers that maybe you did kind of forget about them, like you just signed them up, they did their 3 months or whatever, they mentioned a message that you could send out that was like, hey, do you know what I'm talking about? Do you remember? She was like,
yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Do you know?
It was I didn't write it down, but it was something along the lines of, hey, I know you ordered from me as a Networks customer when I first started my business. You know, I was just getting started. I had no idea what I was doing, and I feel like I kind of just left you hanging. I'm really sorry about that. You know, how are you? Is there any, you know, just kind of following up with them.
And she was like, I was hoping we could start over. We like just launched shake product or something like that. Or it was, I don't know, but it was really good. I want to find that video because I thought that was
it's probably in those videos that I posted, but I remember, she said that, and I liked like what she said too. But we'll look for that. One other thing too is like handwritten thank you cards, and that was something like I have done before. Like I definitely like have fallen out of that, but it was just something like thanking my loyal customers for choosing me to be their It Works distributor, for choosing me to help them with, you know, their health and wellness goals. I always try to remind them, you know, I'm here to help them if they have any questions, things like that. And I mean, like when I did that, like I got so much great feedback from them. Like they were like, oh my gosh, like thank you for the card. Like, you know, that was so sweet of you to take time to do that. Or they're like, you know, people don't really take time to handwrite things anymore. You know, it's all on like texting or social media, things like that. So people like to get those little handwritten cards, and also show something personal, you know, that you took time to sit down and put thought into writing that. This one I really liked was sending green samples to loyal customers. And I really liked that because, you know, like she had mentioned, you know, a lot of times like when people try something and they like it, they want to get more of it. And, you know, so the greens on the go is something easy to send out and just be like, hey, I just was sending out some samples and I wanted to get you a couple of samples of our greens. And, you know, if it were me, I'd put a little note in there too of like what they taste best with, you know, a lot of people like berry with this, like orange, you know, with orange juice, things like that. But I thought that was like a really great idea too. You know, maybe even sending samples of the Wow or the Chews, just think, you know, those simple little things. I thought that was a good idea. She had mentioned getting to know your loyal customers, knowing what their goals are, especially, you know, you don't want to have someone message you and tell you, you know, hey, I'm going to order the wraps. And then, you know, okay, sure, let's do that. But I'll try to find out, okay, awesome, I'd love to help you. You know, what are your goals that you're wanting to achieve? And then if they tell you, well, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, like then, you know, there's some education there. You know, the wraps aren't going to help them lose weight. So that's where we need to like talk to them more, because you don't want them to use a product that isn't going to help them reach their goals. Because believe it or not, which maybe it's not unbelievable, but a lot of people think the wraps are for weight loss. You know, so they think that they're getting the right product, whereas, you know, really we know that that's not exactly the best product for them to start with if they're wanting to lose weight. So those were a couple of the favorite things I had. One of the other things too, really quick, she had mentioned, so month 1, she sends a thank you. So month 1, they're a loyal customer, she sends them a thank you. Month 2, she checks in and suggests other products for their goals. And then next 3, which this is one of my favorite ones, was they tell them about their perk points, you know, reminding them that there are perk points. And then also she suggests the opportunity, because they've now been ordering for 3 months. You know, they probably really love their product, so it's a great chance to, you know, talk to them about continuing using the products and also making some extra money too. So I really like those ideas. So that was just what I had as some of my like favorite tips.
Yes. I think, who else? Nadia, did you want to share an aha moment or a tip?
Sorry, I was just writing something down.
Sorry.
I was just saying, yes, I will share an aha moment. But I was just writing down in the group chat that some of you might be hearing, like, checking in month 1, month 2, month 3, like, how am I supposed to do that? Well, if you have an iPhone, literally the day they sign up, you can tell Siri to remind you, like, a month later, 2 months later, 3 months later. And that's, like, been a lifesaver, because I'm new to the iPhone thing, but she saves my life. I'm telling you.
something I do, because I'm pretty sure I would even find a way to mess that up with my serious ADD issues. What I do is every time I sign a loyal customer, and before I started this, I had to go into TreeViewer and like get everyone's email address. So that kind of stunk, but it's well worth it, because now in my notes of my phone, I just have a running list of all of my loyal customers. What I do every month is I send an email, and I'll put something more detailed in the post about this, but I send one like newsletter type email to my loyals, like featuring a product or something, like a product of the month. And in the to line of the email, I write it to myself, like to my own email address. And then in the BCC line, I copy and paste from my note. I copy and paste every single loyal customer email into the BCC line, so they don't all get their email addresses and it looks like I'm just writing it to them. So that's another way to like quickly stay in contact with people and just like let them know about products or something you're loving or a sale or whatever. But I'll put that in the comments of this post. Lindsay, do you remember who else was going to share?
No.
I can share my aha moment really quickly.
Oh, awesome.
Sorry. I don't remember who was on stage because it's like a big blur. But somebody was like, an Ambassador Diamond was telling her story, and she was saying how she made it to Double Diamond, and then she sat at Double Diamond for 18 months. And I think Katie and I looked at each other, and we were both kind of giving this look like, she's telling our story. Like, this is us. Like, I've been at Double Diamond for a year. And she basically was like, I got comfortable, which I'm 100% guilty of. Like, I was making good money, and I got super comfortable, and I'm like, oh, this is going to last forever or whatever. But, you know, you have to keep working if you want to get to the next rank, right? Unless you're completely comfortable where you're at, if you want to keep growing, you have to get to the next rank. And I don't know what my problem was, but when I was like sitting there in conference, I just like had this moment where I was like other people have sat here for this long. Other people have had the same dilemma. Double Diamond is a scary place to be at, because all of a sudden you're making all this money, but you know, you just have to build a whole nother leg in order to get to the next rank. So it's like a scary place to be at. And when she was telling her story, it clicked. Like, I'm not the only person that has ever gone through this. I turned to Katie right there. You know, we promoted together. Like, here she is. She's, you know, she can relate to me. For a long time, I was like, it's just me and Katie. Like, we have to get over this hump. But I was like, if she can do it, like, she didn't run out of people to talk to. She didn't run out of customers. She didn't run out of potentials. Like, honestly, she just had to get out of her own way and work. And it's been a complete different story for me. Literally, just even this week, like, messaging 4 people a day is not going to get me to where I would need to be. And so I've literally like kicked it into high gear, where I'm up on my phone all night. I know Lindsay was talking about staying up late. Like, you guys, I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. The last 3 nights I've gone to bed at midnight. So I've been like running on 5 hours of sleep and drinking tons of like greens and energy to get myself through the day. But if it means like a pay raise, like, I will do it. I will do it for as long as I need to do it.
Whether you're trying to promote to triple or executive, you guys just run. Like, don't beat yourself up if you were stuck or you weren't doing what you know you should be doing. Like, tomorrow or even tonight, like when we get off, is fresh start, and we run and focus on that.
And I'm sure those of you who have promoted kind of feel the same way. Like, I feel right now the same way I felt when I was going for Ruby and Emerald. Like, I feel so much fire and momentum, and not even in just my own promotion, like watching the teammates that I've built really, really good, like, strong connections with, and seeing them, you know, kicking it into high gear to get their promotions. Like, it's so amazing when people around you are promoting. I don't know. I'm just super excited for it.
Yes.
Katie had her hand raised.
Oh, yay.
So I second everything that Nadia just said, but I have like too many words. I could sit here all night and we could make a whole Zoom on all my aha moments, but can everyone on here who works a 9 to can you guys raise your hands? Just like literally, not like on the button. Okay, so there's like quite a few people. So I think we talk about like work as if you're ready for promotion, work as if you're boxed in for promotion. Well, a lot of times, like, that's a hard feeling to relate to. Some people maybe haven't promoted yet, or maybe it just kind of happened for them, so they hadn't, like, volume just fell into place. So an easy thing to relate to is the feeling at a 9-to-5 job when your quarterly review comes up and you're going for like $1 raise, or your yearly review comes up, you're going for like $1 raise. And that's coming up. Like in 3 months, it's your year review. You're going up for promotion, but you have to prove to them that you're worthy of that promotion, right? Like you need to show them that you can make $1 extra an hour. That feeling you get, so that fire in your belly and the work that you put in. So you're there 5 minutes early every day. You stay an hour late. You're working your butt off. You dress to impress. You're calling all the right people. You're saying all the right things. That is that feeling is so relatable. And you can do that for $1 an hour raise, but you guys aren't willing. Some people aren't willing to do that for $1,000 raise a month or a $5,000 raise a month. You guys, when I got my first check, I don't know how I should say this. Like when I saw my first ever huge raise in this business, I looked at it and I was like, there is not a single job in the world that would give me a raise this large in 1 month out there. There's not one single company out there that's a normal like 9-to-5 that would ever give me this huge of a raise. So you have to realize, like, we are so willing to put in so much time and effort to get $1 an hour raise or a 50-cent an hour raise, but we won't stay up. Like, I mean, this is kind of just piggybacking off of everything that was said tonight. So use that feeling of like, okay, I'm going for an hour or $1 an hour raise. Use that feeling and do that. Like, do what you would do for your normal 9-to-5. But even if you triple that feeling, like, your checks will go up and you will promote. Your checks will go up thousands of dollars, you guys. Like, you have no idea the potential that you, like, I mean, like Lindsay, Nadia, Jen, like, I'm seeing, like, we have given ourselves thousands of dollars of raises each month, and you do it off of your performance.
Well, who said it that was like inducted into the Millionaires Club, and they like did the math that they were with It Works for 4 years, and it would have taken them
like 56 years or something,
42 years or something crazy to get $1 million with their 9-to-5 that they quit to join to do It Works. Like that, eye-opening.
Yeah. So like use that motivation. That was kind of an aha moment to me. It was like what the heck are we doing? Because even if it takes you 10 years to go ambassador, you're still making how much more money, and you would never have made that in your 9-to-5. So that was kind of my aha moment. It was like, holy cow, like, we need to get our heads out of our butts and just work as if we were going for like our yearly like review, and that we need to prove to our boss that we are worthy of that $1 raise. Because you guys, if you work like that, you will be making $30,000 a month, and you can kick your 9-to-5 job in the ass and you can walk out the door and be like, okay, I'm out of here. Okay, bye. Okay, that's all.
All right. Thank you, girl. Kayla Gill is going to share a quick aha moment from conference also.
Hi, everyone.
Hey.
Okay. So the one thing that I wanted to share with you guys is that this was my 4th conference to attend. And every single year I leave like, just not only like fired up and ready to do this, but literally like this time, like there's no excuses. You have to understand that this business needs time, and you have to put in the time for it. Just because you're not getting where you want to be in 3 months or 6 months doesn't mean that you won't get there. And for me, this is me saying my 4th conference in June, it'll be 4 years for me, and I'm diamond, and that's fantastic. But to me, like, I have plenty of time. I'm not going anywhere with this business. Like, this is my business, and it's up to me to kind of get my butt in gear and keep doing this. I don't have a time limit on my business, and neither do you. So the one thing that you have to do for yourself is stick with it. The only way that you're going to fail and not get where you want to go is if you don't give yourself the time and the ability to see where this will take you. And there were so many people that were on stage. I mean, there were some that were for 10 years they've been in this business. And I think that one of them wasn't even an ambassador yet in 10 years, you know, so they're going to get there, but it just takes time. And being hard on yourself and doing all the negative stuff, listening to what people say isn't going to get you anywhere either. And for me, like, you know, and my team, I had 2 other teammates that have been there. One, sorry if you're on this, I'm not going to say your name. I don't want to call anybody out, but you know, she's been in this business for 3 years and she's a Ruby, but she's going to work her butt and she's going to get to Diamond because she knows that she can do this. It's just a matter of time. So, you know, it was really nice to hear how many people are still continuing to work this business, even though it's taken them longer to get where they want to be. And some have gotten there faster. Like, you're not on the same timeline as anybody whatsoever, and you don't have an ending time for your business. So that's
Thanks,
just kind
Kayla.
of like something that helped me. So
Thank you. Miss Hannah, we're going to wrap it up with you. Make it an amazing aha moment.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. I'm with Katie. Like, I have so many things. Like, I could have another hour. So I think my tip would be, I loved what Pam said about, you know, posting is not asking. You know, posting is amazing, and like that is your like advertise. Well, I don't want to say advertisement because I feel like that's salesy, but like that's your like commercial reel of your life. And you know, I actually was talking to somebody today, and you know, this is like props to our leadership and the way that our leaders teach us to work this business. And you guys will hear it from us all the time, is like not to be spammy, not to be salesy, but like just share your life and your excitement for this company and these products. And I had a brand new potential tell me today, like, she's like, I've known other people that have done this business. She's like, but I've never seen anyone work it the way you do, where you just post your life and what you're excited about. And it's not like salesy and ShamWow at all. I mean, she probably didn't use the word ShamWow, but you know what I'm saying? And so I thought that was like such a huge testament to our leadership. And so anyways, I say that to say, like, our posting is so crucial because that's going to be like what gets people's attention. But the reeling them in part is going to be like, this girl never even like liked or commented on my stuff. And she was watching, and I messaged her and just said like, hey, you know, like, I keep seeing your posts. I think you're so positive, and like, I love your pictures of your son, blah, 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 whatever, you know, and I think you'd be amazing at this business. And like, she was going to sign up today, but then the website was down. So we're doing it tomorrow. But, you know, she's been watching, and what you post is so important because like, that is what people know about you and the company. But you have to get out there and like message people and ask them. Like, messaging people is not annoying people. Like, you have an opportunity in your hands that's literally gold. And you know, maybe you are still at the distributor level and it hasn't completely changed your life yet, but it's going to, and you know it's going to because you see all the other people's lives that it's changed. So like, grab onto that confidence, and if you need to like borrow someone else's confidence and kind of like fake it till you make it, like, do that. But you've got to get out there and tell people about this opportunity and ask them if it's something they'd be interested in. And some people are going to tell you no. But you're still planting that seed, and now they're going to watch you even more closely. So that's my tip. Posting isn't asking. Make sure you're messaging people and asking them. So that's that. And my aha moment kind of goes hand in hand with that. Nobody said it, but I had this moment during one of the sessions, and like, I don't even really quite know how to put it into words, but it was such like an eye-opening moment for me. And, you know, I've been also sitting at Double Diamond for a year. And I think this can apply to any rank. It doesn't matter what rank you are, but I think, you know, we kind of get in our mind, or I kind of had gotten in my mind, like, you know, I'm double diamond. Like, that's a good spot. Like, I'll eventually get to triple. I'll eventually get to presidential. I know I'm going to eventually get to ambassador. And, if it takes me, like, we hear people say, like, if you'd only do one promotion a year, you'll be ambassador in 8 years. And that's still amazing. And that totally is still amazing. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're going to be making way more in 8 years than you would be making in a corporate America job. But somehow I let that get in my head that, like, I've got 8 years to go ambassador. And I don't know, I just had that moment. I just had this moment where, like, I have this for this year, my goal is to go presidential. And I kept kind of thinking, like, that's my goal, but, like, if I don't make it, that's okay. Like, if I get to just triple, like, I'll be happy with that. And all of a sudden in the middle of conference, I was, like, hearing all the millionaires talk about, like, they decided they wanted to do it and they just got to work. And I just had this aha moment of, like presidential is there. Like, it's not like I'm not on a timeline for a 9-to-5 job. I'm not on okay, when you get your tenure, like, then you're going to get this raise. Like, it's freaking sitting there waiting for me to just come for it. Like, it's already mine. And, like, that goes for each one of you. Like, if your goal is a diamond, like, that's your first, like, big goal because you want to replace your 9-to-5 job. Like, there's nothing except you that's keeping you from getting there. And, like, I don't know if that even makes sense, but, like, for me, that was, like, such a huge moment. Like Nadia said, like, talking to 4 people a day isn't going to get you to your goal. And so for me, it was just like, holy crap, like, I'm the only person keeping me from getting it presidential. It's not like that there's not enough hours in the day. It's not that everyone's telling me no. Like, there's billions of people in this world. I'm just not talking to enough of them. And so I just had this, like, crazy moment, and it just hit me, like, I am going to go presidential this year because the excuses are going out the window. Like, I don't care how many people I have to talk to. I'm going to talk to them. And if someone tells me no, like, yes, of course, I'm going to follow up with them, but I'm going to find somebody else. Like, I'm not going to stick on the same 10 people and just keep following up with them forever and ever, praying that they change their mind one day so that I can go presidential or ambassador or whatever it is, or diamond, like, whatever your goal is. So I'm, like, literally shaking. Like, I'm so excited. But, like, all I can say is you guys, like, this is for you. Like, I mean, Tiffany Herr went ambassador in 2 years. Like, she joined the company just after I did, and she's ambassador diamond. And I saw her get up there and talk about how she went ambassador in 2 years. And I was like, what the heck? Like, how come I didn't do that? And she talked to more people. She got out there and she did more. And so that's all I got. Get out there and do more. Talk to more people. Do more. Don't let tiredness get you down. Don't get your kids, like, don't let your why be your why not. Like, don't let your kids be excuse. Don't let your job be your excuse. Just do it. That's all I got.
Like it. Thanks, Hannah.
Mm-hmm.
Lindsay's going to wrap it up here.
Yeah. So, okay. So I hope you guys, like, got super motivated tonight. You've learned some, like, really great tips. You got a little more insight on, the business and, some people's journeys and how maybe it can relate to your journey. But one thing, and I told everyone this at conference too, something I want you guys to do is for the next month and a half, I want you guys to tonight, think about that one thing that you're afraid to do for your business. Like, whether it's messaging people, blitzing, posting your personal, like, testimony, posting, like, selfies about, with, like, any kind of post, lifestyle posts, product posts, anything like that. Like, whatever it is that we say you guys should be doing that you're afraid to do, that one thing, I want you guys to commit for the next month and a half to doing that thing every day. Tell yourself, okay, I'm going to try that for the next month and a half. And I guarantee you guys, because I've been in the same place, if you do that, that one thing is probably the thing that's been holding you back. And that's going to, if you start doing it, it's going to change your business. And you're going to see after you do it, and do it every single day, it's going to become a habit. And then you're going to be like, oh my gosh, people are really, like, responding to this. Like, what the heck was I doing? Why was I not doing this? So just tell yourself you're going to try it. Because I feel like when we say we're going to try it, we're like, okay, I can try anything for a month and a half. But that's something I want you guys to seriously do this. Think of that one thing that you are refusing to do, you know, maybe it's not getting on calls or not, you know, getting on Zooms regularly, not, you know, plugging in, not reading a book, just whatever it is that we tell you guys that we like suggest you guys do. Pick that one thing and try it until March 31st every single day. So that is what I wanted to close out with. You know, we're so excited. We're so pumped. You know, we're working hard. Your leaders are working hard. You know, we know you guys are going to work hard. Just go. Like, get your game plan and go. And if anyone has questions, you know, come to me. You go to your upline, but I'm here to help you guys. You know, just you need to get your plan and you need to act on it. That's the big thing. You can't wish. You can't hope. You have to act. So that's all we're going to have for you tonight. We thank you guys so much for getting on here on Valentine's Day. You know, we all have spouses, and I'm sure, you know, I told mine I'm getting a $150,000 bonus for him, so he can like.
Happy Valentine's Day. Will you guys do us a favor, and will you go in the comments, like Alyssa Dewey, you posted the note from the loyal customer message. Will you go post that or anything else in here in the, my brain is fried, in the Freedom Wrappers post about this Zoom? Alyssa Dewey. Will you do that? Thank you. All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Thanks so much, you guys. We'll talk to you later.